Yo, so today we have my predictions for the May monthly awards cards for MLB The Show 21 coming out tomorrow. I'm pretty sure noon Pacific. If you guys are watching this video right now, leave a like, going for 500 or more. Subscribe if you are new on the road to 100,000 subscribers, trying to get 100 or more today. Comment down below your predictions for the player of the month cards. Who do you think is going to get the lightning one, the best overall card? Twitch, I might actually be live right now when you guys are watching this video. Come say what's up on Twitch, Twin Gaming TV on there. Links in the description, as well as my Instagram and my Twitter. And before I get into my predictions, I just want to say that just because I'm predicting these doesn't mean that these are the cards that I necessarily think absolutely should happen or will happen. These are my predictions for what will happen, and chances are I'm probably going to be wrong. I tried to factor in multiple things, like how their month was, obviously, but also if that player does or doesn't have another card in the game. There's maybe a diamond or a high overall, you know, another version of the card, or maybe their live series overall. I try to take into account multiple factors, and one thing that I want to mention that I have over here, so if you see me looking over here right now, is that in the April one we had 9 players, 3 infielders, 3 outfielders, 2 starting pitchers, and 1 relief pitcher for 9 players. So 3 pitchers, 2 starters, a reliever, 3 outfielders, 3 infielders. So for my predictions, I have 3 outfielders, 3 infielders, 3 pitchers, 2 starters, 1 reliever, right? I went with the same format as April, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's what's going to happen. But that also impacted my predictions as well, and who I chose over some other players. I figured that a good place to start my predictions would be the guy who I think is getting the lightning card, right? The best overall card in the program, the final reward that you unlock, the highest overall card in the program. And for me, it's going to be Marcus Semien. And there's honestly one main reason. He had the highest WAR in May for the entire MLB, and in April Byron Buxton had the highest WAR for the entire MLB, and he ended up being the lightning card. So for that reason, I'm going with Marcus Semien. I feel like that might be a good, you know, line of logic, line of reason, and whatever you want to say. But in May, Marcus Semien had an OPS of 1130, 1130 OPS with a 368 average, 22 RBIs, 8 homers, 1 triple, and 12 doubles. I feel like he just absolutely went off, and if he gets the lightning card, I feel like it's just very well deserved. So he's my lightning guy. He's the #1 guy for me, and my first pick of 9 for these predictions. Now, since Semien was an infielder, I'm going to my other 2 infielder predictions, starting with Brandon Crawford. In May, he had a 1045 OPS with 22 RBIs, 7 homers, 5 doubles, and then as always with Brandon Crawford, some great defense. And I feel like just hitting for that power, you know, having that high OPS and everything, I feel like with his fielding too would make him a very usable, well-rounded card for these. And I think it'd be cool to see a Brandon Crawford player of the month. I love his swing in the game. I feel like I love everybody's swing in the game, but I would be very happy with a Brandon Crawford player of the month card. I feel like it would be deserving. But with that being said, for most of these predictions, except for Semien and then some of my pitchers, you know, all of them are a toss-up for me. It's like if they get it, I'm not surprised, but if they don't, if they choose somebody else, I'm also not surprised. But he's the second pick for me. Now, I feel like my final infielder prediction could surprise some people, but we have Yoan Moncada from the White Sox, and he didn't have the best month of May. It wasn't terrible or bad by any means, but he only had an 892 OPS compared to our first 2 guys, both over 1,000. However, he did have an OBP of 455 with 1 home run, 9 doubles, and 30 total hits for the month of May. So I feel like he would be a good card for one of the lower overall players in the program that still had a good month. Obviously, any guy they give a card is going to have had a solid month, but not every card is going to be just absolutely crazy. They do have some lower overall guys in the program for the first few rewards, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Yoan Moncada as one of them as an infielder, a nice switch hitting card. And y'all might be wondering why there's not other infielders in my predictions like Austin Riley, Adam Frazier, maybe Max Muncy, stuff like that. But these are just my predictions. It does not mean that it's what will, should, or is going to happen. I just chose the guys I did based on their months, like I said at the beginning, you know, other versions of people's cards in the game, their live series overall, stuff like that. You know, Muncy has that 42 series card. I think Austin Riley is a future stars card. So stuff like that went into my predictions as well. But just because I didn't have somebody in my video doesn't mean it won't happen, and doesn't mean that those other guys that I don't choose in this video didn't have good months or even better months than some of these players. For my 3 outfielders, we're going to be starting with Trey Mancini, and I'm just so happy that he's back to baseball, healthy, and overall killing it. Back in the MLB in May, he had a 993 OPS with 25 RBIs, 13 walks, 6 home runs, 8 doubles for 31 total hits. I feel like he would be just a great pick, you know. I feel like he had a really good month of May. I don't think he has a higher than gold other version in the game. I feel like he'd be a fun card to use. You know, he's back healthy to baseball. I feel like it'd be just an overall great pick, and I would love to see him, but I also wouldn't be surprised, like with most of these guys, except for Marcus Semien and 1 or 2 of my pitcher picks. Like most of them, I wouldn't be surprised if they do choose someone else, but I think if they chose him, he's definitely deserving. Next up, we have Austin Meadows, and I feel like this one's not super likely, but I chose him because he had a good but just not great month of May, and not every card that we get in this program is going to be some super high overall amazing card. We do need some lower overall player of the month cards, and for me, I feel like Austin Meadows could be one of those guys, right? In May, he did have a really nice OPS at 976, however, with only a 258 average. He did have 8 home runs, a triple, 9 doubles, and drove in 14 runs. So I could see them giving him a lower overall card with some low contact, high power as one of the early on program rewards for this month. That's why I'm choosing him. But again, would not surprise me if they didn't choose him and they chose somebody else. For my last outfielder, and then for my last position player card for these predictions, we're going to the Reds, and instead of Nick Castellanos, I'm choosing Jesse Winker. In my opinion, Castellanos did have a little bit better of a month, but because Winker's live series is a gold and Castellanos is a diamond, I actually had that be a big reason why I went with Winker instead of Castellanos. Now, Jesse Winker has continued to rake after having a really nice May. He's off to a hot start in June, I think, in the series versus the Cardinals. In one game, he had 3 homers, right? But already 4 or 5 home runs this month. And in May, he had a 1,007 OPS with a 330 average, 7 homers, 5 doubles. And like I said, I feel like Castellanos had a little bit better of a month than him, but not every card in this program is going to be necessarily super insane or the best players of the month, right? There are going to be cards and players where somebody had a better month than them, but for reasons they did not choose that player, and I think live series overall might be a factor in Castellanos not getting one, but Winker will get one. So that's why I went with him. But again, like all of these, I wouldn't necessarily be surprised if it did not happen. Now for pitching, I'm going to start with my 2 starting pitcher predictions. First, we have Zach Wheeler. I chose him because he had the highest WAR out of all pitchers in the MLB for May. And besides leading the MLB in WAR, he was also tied with Max Scherzer for the most strikeouts in the month of May at 57. He only allowed 2 home runs in the entire month, 5 walks, 10 earned runs in 43 1/3 innings. So I would not be surprised at all to see him as the best or second best pitcher in this program. I feel like he would definitely be deserving. Then my other starting pitcher is going to be Kevin Gausman. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. I feel like I suck at pronouncing names. I was thinking about choosing Rich Hill here. However, I ultimately ended up going with Gausman because I feel like he had a little bit better overall month of May. They both had great months, but I felt like his was a little bit better. And in May, Kevin had the lowest ERA out of all pitchers at 0.73, or at least out of starting pitchers. Rich Hill was second at 0.78. And then third place was above 1.07 for Brandon Woodruff. I think fourth place was maybe Lance Lynn at like 1.4 something or 1.3 something. And Gausman had 49 strikeouts in the month of May, only allowed 1 home run, 6 walks, and only 3 earned runs in 37 innings pitched. I think I'd be pretty interested to see whether it's him or Wheeler, in my opinion, getting the best card. Or I'm just interested overall to see if both, neither, or only one of them get cards, right? I feel like they both had a really good month. And my final pick of reliever is going to be also a National League pitcher. So I feel like they might try to choose an American League guy in there. But I feel like one or the other or both. I feel like one of Kevin or Zach has to get one. And I'm interested to see who it is. My final prediction for pitchers and overall for the video, I might have given it away because it's a reliever and I said I was staying in the National League, but I went with Ryan Tepera, and he was absolutely insane for the Cubs in the month of May. And I would personally, he's one of those guys in this program, him and Semien, I feel like are my top 2 choices, right, for cards that I feel like have to be included in this program. If there's only one reliever card like the last one, I would be very surprised if it is not him. It would just blow my mind. And if I'm not mistaken, he is the only relief pitcher in the top 12 pitchers for WAR in the month of May, and he was 7th, top 12 at 7th for all pitchers in the month of May. Only reliever in the top 12 at 7th. And to do that as a reliever with limited innings, you know, to build up that WAR, in my opinion, is kind of nuts. And 13th place was the next reliever. That was going to be Liam Hendricks right there in 13th. And in May, Ryan Tepera had 1 earned run allowed in his 14 2/3 innings pitched, with only 3 hits allowed, 19 strikeouts, 0 walks. So the walks per 9 could be really good. The hits per 9 could be insane. Obviously, I feel like the home runs per 9 could be really good. I don't know if his run was a home or not. I didn't get to see that or not. But he had just had an insane month of May. Disgustingly good out of the bullpen for the Cubs. And I would be absolutely shocked if he doesn't get a card. So those are my predictions. I'm very curious to see y'all's thoughts on my predictions and just overall your predictions down in the comment section. I can't wait for these to come out tomorrow. As always, when new content drops, I'll make a video on it and summarizing it, showing you guys all the rewards, their attributes, stuff like that. So stay tuned for that tomorrow. Like, comment, subscribe, social medias, all that good stuff. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. My bad if I talked a lot. I just wanted to explain my reasoning and make everything clear. I'll see you next time. Peace out.